What is going on, YouTube? It's your boy.
Wait,
Whoa,
hold up.
whoa.
All right. You know what? We got our boy Spanko on the camera today because your boy AlphaYGO is doing a guest upload on Spanko's channel. All right.
Okay, so guys, listen. Yeah, it's your boy Spanko, by the way, since I didn't get to finish my intro. But my boy Andrew, who you've probably heard on the channel multiple times by now, because he films for me a lot. But my boy Andrew just started his own YouTube channel, AlphaYGO. I will put a link in the description so you guys can check him out. He's gonna start uploading on the channel fairly soon and frequently, hopefully. So yeah, I guess we're gonna start off with his, what is it, Zefra, Endymion, Pendulum, Magician, just pendulums, right?
Okay, so I call it Endymion Zefra as like a short form for
I like that. I like that. Endymion Zefra.
Yeah. The deck has a lot of ways you can fix it or improve it to your own style, but this is kind of like a skeleton or a guideline of how I like to play the deck personally and abuse as much as Pendulum can at the moment. So without further ado,
We'll get into the profile.
Hell yeah.
How many cards is your main deck, first of all? Because it looks a little bit bigger than 40.
This is a very odd number of 46, which is actually an even number. So to forget I said that.
All right.
But the reason you play 46 is because there's so many good cards in the
Pendulum, like, archetype thingy.
into your like tools and disposal.
Yeah.
And it's also like it helps a little bit in not seeing so many of the weird one-ofs as often. But of course, you're never lucky, so you'll always see.
So you'll always draw the
four
one-offs.
So right now we got 3 corner graph, you know, the old turbo card with
Yep.
the garnet, one of the odd one-offs. Then we got triple Cerberus as another turbo card alongside double Jackal, which, you know, works in tandem and acts as its own negates, which is great. Works great with the Endymions because once you set up Endymion in your scale and activate 3 counters, you get the Jackal out, and basically your Electromagnet is pretty much safe to resolve, except for impermanence, but you can play through impermanence pretty well.
With the deck?
Yeah, because only thing that really hurts is stuff like Ghost Ogre on your Electromagnet if anyone's still playing this format.
Yeah, that's true.
We're also playing the 1 Garuda because it's not only is it a normal summonable pendulum monster, which is really good, it's just the fact that it's a searchable way of outing back row, and because Mystic Mine is a thing and you gotta respect the deck, you don't want to lose to something nonsensical like Mystic Mine just out of nowhere. You might as well run the 1 searchable out to it. Here we got 3 Dark Worm, and as you can imagine, we're abusing Guard Dragons, so these guys are MVP. You always want to see it, but not too much because
you never want to see it.
Yu-Gi-Oh! And if you want 1 donut, I used to like 2, but just for the sake of this, we're gonna run 1. And alongside the other level 7, we're actually running Destrudo, which always ends up in my hand no matter what. And I hate this card, but it's probably one of the best ways to like abuse, to use during the Guard Dragon combos. Get your special off LP, it's a dragon. You bring it back, you make a level 7 synchro. It's good, but it's not that good.
Okay, that's fair.
Upcoming profiles, I might change it up and add some spice by replacing the Destrudo for other dragon engines, so watch that out.
Okay.
For the Magicians, we played 3 Harmonizing, probably one of the best Magicians because it's like, you just get a special free body.
Yeah, of course.
And it's a tuner, opens up synchro plays. But we also run for the other Magicians 2 purple and 1 black Fang. We don't run the level 7s because since we run Zephras and the Zephra skills maximum is skill 7, it's hard for you to always like be able to pendulum 7 level 7s obviously. And then you always get Vortex through the Guard Dragon plays anyway, so you don't have to rely on the Alp's absolute 0 play. And then these cards are just utility, pen call, all that good stuff. This is another great way of just outing like certain unfortunate floodgates.
Okay, so I was gonna ask. A lot of people like to play 1-of because people say that this card at like multiple is suckish.
Yes.
But you like it at 2.
These 3 are just known as the bricks. Pendulum Magicians are only really best for their ability as good scales.
Okay.
And like, but it's like their utility is still strong. It's like because special summoning a dark spellcaster can come up when you're trying to break against boards. It's like they're brick in terms of like you might prefer seeing another turbo card. And by the way, since you don't see Curtain Raiser in this profile, which I might add later, Curtain Raiser is just like, as people know, is kind of anti-synergistic with Dark Worm, because you special the Dark Worm, then you just have to. I mean, the point of Curtain Raiser is supposed to be a turbo card, but you just normal summon in that case. But granted, it works great with Endymion, so it deserves a spot in here. These guys, it's kind of like, they're not turbo cards, but it's like, when you're going second, you have to respect the fact that you're going to lose a die roll here and there, and you need things that are just going
to break boards.
Like, you just have to crash with purple poison sometimes and pop the floodgate. Sometimes you have to have something and special, like a Jackal King that somehow ended up being grave, etc. It happens often, you know? And then continuing off from there, everyone's new favorite addition to Pendulum is Endymion, along with the boss monster. You only need one because it's a searchable scale 8. You just, if you feel like you're playing against something like, let's say you're against True Draco, you know the only hand trap they'll have is a perm, then why not just go Servant into Master, let you resolve your plays, make a board that they can't break, etc. Yeah. And for the Zephyras, we got one Zefra, one Zephyr Nui, and one Zephyr Winda. These are the only ones you need. Originally, I was playing 2 Zephyr Nui, but then I just realized, like, you only need 1 Zephyr Nui, because if you just hard draw it, you special it just straight off, get the counter trap. And sometimes when you still open this with along with like other search cards, you might as well just get the normal summon, because normal summon can be very important to make sure you Electromite goes through. Zephyr, as we mentioned before, it will send the Zephyr Nui, change the scale to 7, and it's actually really powerful because it's like you're sending to the extra deck, right?
Yep.
It's pretty avoidable by most hand traps. But that's the only Zephyrs we need. The reason you run Zephyrs in the first place is because they work incredibly well with the Endymions, right? More so than the Magicians, in my opinion, because it's like you either get Terraforming or Zephyr Providence, and then you'll get the Zephyr Oracle, then you'll get the Scale, and then that's just 3 counters
on its own
when you do all that, right? Magicians is kind of like, oh, if I happen to see legitimately 3 different spells, like a Dragon Shrine, a Duelist Alliance into Pendulum Call, then yeah, you get to resolve your Servant, but it's kind of like, why not just do a 1 card 3 counter, start your plays off real early. Last Pendulum card is Aether. You can run a Morphage Goliath / Sloth because it's just amazing floodgates, right?
Yeah.
Just turn off your opponent's entire strategy, but this is good going. It's a versatile card because you go second, you can pen summon straight away, pop something, banish something, sorry. And it's kind of like, this deck, I just didn't want to make it where it's auto lose going second. You want a versatile going first and second, you know what I mean? So that's what I
Another thing with this card that I really like is the problem with playing Sloth or something in this deck is that you don't play like a Harbinger like in Thunder Dragon. So your Sloth comes out 0/0 or your Goliath comes out 0/0 and then they can just out it, right? Whereas this card at least gets like, you get the bounce with the Hieratic and then the second banish kind of thing, right?
Yep, exactly.
So it's more utility in my opinion, at least.
It is unfortunate for the times that they manage to like just battle your Hieratic straight through. You've forced the Hieratic bounce, and then you summon this without getting anything on board. But the good thing is, once you do summon it, and they decide to destroy it or you link it away, it goes to your extra deck. So you'll just Pendulum summon it again, and you get a banish. You'll just keep recycling, keep breaking your opponent's board how many times you like. For the turbo cards for the Dark Worm, I only want to run 1 Shrine, 1 Foolish, and as a result, 1 Dragon Ravine. I know Dragon Shrine is an amazing card for this deck because it's just a great starter, but oh boy, when you draw this, draw the other copy off of your Electromite draw, off of like your top deck when you really need a scale, it hurts so much. And it's like, I know it's kind of like, it doesn't make sense for you not to maximize on your starters, but literally it feels like it's enough because you're running also like you're running 2 Terraform with Dragon Ravine, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, worst comes to worst, you don't see Dark Worm, you'll search it off of Electromite anyways, right? So it's like, I think this has worked perfectly fine for me. It's almost never been a case where I just don't have Guard Dragon plays. It's very rare. And if I don't have it, it's mostly because I messed up, forgot to search it out with Electromite, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that works perfectly great in my opinion. For the Zephyr cards, you just run the 1 Providence. You don't need really more than that realistically. 2 Oracle because ratios for terraforming make no sense. 2 Pendulum Call, base Pendulum Call is great, but and along with 2 Duelist Alliance because Duelist Alliance such these. But I know people like it's another situation where you want to run 3, but then it's like
You see double.
yeah, I don't disagree with running 3. Even I like 3, but there are times where it's like
Too much.
it's great when you open multiple against against cards that negate activation because you'll activate the second one, but then it's like you just get Ash realistically,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So it's also this deck doesn't even rely on Pendulum Call like resolving. It's just more like it's a bit of a beyond like going beyond.
It's like a win more.
It's a bit of a win more, not necessarily. It's just very strong, but it's not necessary for it to resolve for you to win the game all the time.
Yep.
And of course we have 3 Spell Power Mastery. Obviously just great with it searches your Endymion core engine, gets you extra counters if you already open one of them. It's also good because it's like because you run Master and Servant, it's like you either search an extra normal. Let's say you already have one of them, right? You either search a high scale, or you search another normal summon. So it's almost never dead. The one common upstart. Don't look at it. I'm sorry.
You're playing upstart in a 46 card deck.
Yes, because Endymions need spells to go off, and no, the 1000 is very minuscule, unless your opponent keeps slow playing and puts you in time.
Oh no!
Because they always do that.
Justice for
because upstart and Destrudo do put you behind a lot. It lets you win the game, but then Konami doesn't let you win the game because
time rolls are stupid.
And then the one Zephyr Divine Strike.
Yep, of course.
And as a tidbit, what's great about this is the fact that 7 cards for Zefra, potential 2 with terraforming if you want to do it like that. When you go second, because this is all these guys' purpose is for this. When you go second, you can side this out for going second cards, and there's a lot of great going second cards that Pendulum can run. Spirit Mode, Denko Seka, lots of good options. You can tweak around the ratios, right? Because it's like, there's 7 here, but I can also be setting out 9 cards, and you have a good chance of seeing 9 cards out of a 46 deck.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you get to keep some parts of the Zephyr engine, right? Because why not have a searchable normal summon?
Yeah.
You know, you can mix and match the way you want to face your matchup if you like. So I think that's pretty good.
So essentially 9 cards that potentially can just be sided out.
9 cards. Terraforming is like
you can keep it.
You can keep it because you can see Dragon Ravine with it, but it's sort of like, for example, like if you're going against Thunder Dragon and you know you're gonna be facing a Colossus. Maybe
not those.
I think you'd rather see the Sphere modes than these guys. Yeah, that's fair. In my opinion. It's like because you're not your purpose of going second is no longer to make a board necessarily. You're usually gonna have to break boards.
Yeah.
But like, what are these? These are making board cards.
Yeah.
Replace them with breaking board cards.
I like that.
For the extra deck, we don't play Electromite. I joke.
Yeah.
Electromite MVP, always great. But the ironic thing is, if you open, a lot of times, you don't even need Electromite. That's how I feel about this deck. Because it's like, if you have Zephyr Nui, Darkworm, extra monster, and just a random monster, which is just a Pendulum summon, and sometimes you'll just have a Jackal just from this Endymion play, just having Zephyr Nui and Darkworm equates to Hyretic Link, the Zephyr Trap, and a Vortex. You know what I mean? So it's like, sometimes Electromite is there to fix things, to get you extra advantage, but ironically, that's what's great about this deck is like, you don't need to rely on Electromite. You don't need to, it's not like before where you have to see multiple turbo cards and etc. to just make Electromite for the sole purpose of making your board.
Yep.
This deck doesn't live and breathe by Electromite. So we got the LP, Agar Pain, Triple Burst, and Hyretic Link, which are the holy...
I was gonna say Holy Trinity, but it's not really 3.
Quadrupinity, totally
Yeah.
nonsense of the Guard Dragon plays. Obviously, you're gonna use Dark Worm a lot to make this. Sometimes, if you're cheeky, you'll use your Destrudo, make it a level 1 off of your
Jackal or something.
Jackal, off of your whatever monsters you have. Make it less than level 4. People forget you can only use less than level 4. Substitute that for your Guardian play, you do your shenanigans, and you can make a really sick board. And along with that, we're just gonna run one Deco Talker. This deck, extra deck space, it's a lot up to interpretation in my opinion. Deco Talker is just there for more down arrows. It's not too shabby against a Sky Striker board because like you can tribute things against Widow Anchor. It's a big boy, so it's not bad. You can replace this with anything else in my opinion.
I guess the tributes also go to the extra deck, so it's not that bad.
It's not that bad, definitely not. For the Guard Dragon plays, we'll summon Vortex.
Yep.
There's no reason you can't play one or the other, like
Abyss
or Crystal Wing, but it's like, why would you not play this considering it's a Pendulum deck, so like, use it. Dweller, because it's the best rank 4
in the game.
Can
we get an ulti Dweller, please?
Oh, ulti Dweller would be amazing.
So nice.
But then, not to mention I'm sad.
Yeah, I know. Ulti Dweller would be so nice. Konami, please.
It's currently the only rank 4 I'm playing right now, but you'll see later I have like 3 to 4 extra spaces where it's completely up to interpretation at personal choice. But we do have both borrow monsters, just for going game, just for stealing other people's borrow loads to take their entire board, or taking Colossus, it comes up obviously.
To break boards.
Yeah, it's honestly just to break boards.
Yeah.
Eat those things, go bye-bye. You run Don Dragster because if you're running Destrudo, you might as well run one of the best negates for levels in terms of level 7s.
Yep.
In terms of level 7s, I'm also playing Meteorverse because it can come up, you know what I mean? It's like versus, let's say, Sky Striker. I don't want to see Ray again in my field, so you know, and that's about it, right? I'm sure there's other niche situations where this could come up, so why not? Also, it's kind of like if you're gonna be running like a level 7 kind of thing, you might as well have one for going first, one for going second, right?
Yeah.
Then for the level 8 synchros, we have Caliger Blade something.
Boral Savage.
Boral Savage, yes. A great Omni Negate, one of the newest additions to Pendulum decks. There are times when you don't have to, like, maybe you don't want to go into Dweller, but you can make this. So why not make this? It's another Omni Negate on board. And one of the, in my opinion, best removals in Pendulum's arsenal is the non-targeting spin, which is bonkers. Because, like, for example, you can literally recycle things.
It was kind of like Dingirsu before Dingirsu.
Basically.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, oh, you pop purple poison, then purple poison pop.
That spin.
This spins.
This is the Bardiche Dingirsu combo.
This is the OG Bardiche Dingirsu.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's kind of like good because it's like, imagine like you spear mode them and you can't attack it, and you're just like, well, I was supposed to game you this turn, so why don't I just take it back and attack? So, in terms of my deck so far, this is what I got. As you can tell, like, I think these are up to personal preference. It's like there's a lot of spice that can go. There's like you can run another Draco Slayer, make this extra special. These can be other amazing cards like Dark Rebellion, like the Dark Rebellion,
Tornado Dragon,
etc.
The Crystal Wing Synchro one, the what's it called? The Pendulum Crystal Wing
the
one.
Supreme King, Dark Rebellion, Supreme King, Crystal Wing. They're amazing cards. So there's just so many like tools and arsenals in Pendulum's like repertoire. It's like choose what you like. These I'd say are a little more solidified. It's like, you know, budget players, you don't have to play this, you know, like play Utopia Devil.
Oh we're not doing Utopia Double.
Yo, why not, man? You can make it rank 4. You can,
it's bad.
You can live outside the box a little, alright?
It's bad.
So, all in all, I'm very happy with the way
consistent deck.
With this deck performs. Honestly, like, I think the only times I've ever lost with this deck is from time, and it's literally And it's not because like if you know the combos, you make it fast. It's literally your opponent sitting there for half an hour trying to break through your boards,
but they can't.
Because as a little tidbit, we'll set up a little demonstration of what the board usually can end up looking.
By the way, combo video on his channel, AlphaYGO. It'll be coming up soon.
Oh,
check that out. Link in description.
Most definitely, fam. So we'll end up on a little something like. What do you?
This
feeling?
would be the meme also.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What are you feeling? A little dweller, or are you feeling a little?
Could be dweller. Could be Boral Savage. Technically.
If you feel it, yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like.
Yeah.
So let's say in a situation like this, it's like 1 Omni negate, 2 Omni negate. Actually, I lied. It's not even the end of it. Sometimes you can end with this. What am I talking about? Actually, it's usually, honestly, you end with this, in my opinion. Like, this is more often than not, this is what I end with.
1 Omni negate, 2 Omni negate, no monster, spells traps.
Yeah, and it's like.
And then bounce,
and it's
plus
like,
pop if you
and
go.
then you always just save something like this for evenly, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, because they're not playing through this.
Yeah.
And it's like, but they're like, I'm going to beat it out for evenly. And you're just like, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
And then you're just like, I'm going to attack one of your monsters. Like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
And it's, in my opinion, it's really great. It's just another break my board deck in the format, similar to Thunder Guard Dragon. But there are some plus sides and downsides to this deck compared to that deck. I think Pendulum has a lot of potential this format. In fact, I think it's one of the top tier 2 decks, if not one of the best tier 2 deck, but that's my humble opinion.
I honestly think it's tier 1. 1.5. It's not tier 2. It's not tier 2. I'd say 1.5.
Depends who you ask. But again, thank you so much for you guys for watching, and of course SPANK for letting me upload on his channel. I hope to bring about a lot of new exciting content for all of you, whether it's competitive budget, and most definitely meme as hell. But thank you so much for watching, guys.
Guys, remember, AlphaYGO, link in the description below. Andrew will be on the channel more often. Trust me, you guys will see him around all the time. Do you want to say anything?
AlphaYGO
signing out.